Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have a former Walking Dead Big Short actor, and she's now starting a national campaign to reform psychological abuse laws in the US and help others. And also, she's amazing. Vanessa Cloke.
Thank you.
That's all right, Vanessa Cloke. And I know it's not your real name, obviously, Cloke, but Vanessa Cloke, welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Thank you so much. Happy Friday morning.
Yeah, happy Friday, well, afternoon if you're in the UK.
Right, depending on where you
If
are.
you're in Asia, then happy Friday evening. Happy Friday.
Yay, TGIF.
TGIF, that's it. Thank God it's
Thank
Friday.
God.
Yeah, wow. Well, I've had many actors on my show. Some are campaign. I've just had the director, actually, a film director. He's going to move to the UK, and he's got a campaign going on some other issues. And he's worked with Clint Eastwood and done some big movies as well. So Hell's Kitchen. So, and you've done some big TV. You're more TV than films. But of course, you have a story to tell, obviously, as I've mentioned in the intro, and I've suffered some abuse, bullying, and I've had to fight back, and I'm sure you did as well. And it can be psychologically taxing, and the symptoms aren't great at all. But I had behavioural symptoms which obviously backlashed on me, because obviously people then use that as a thing. So, yeah, see, I told you, things like that. But let's hear about you, because obviously, this is what this is want to hear. So let's hear about you and what happened. What's your background first before you got into acting, and then got into acting in these big, obviously, TV series that you did, and then obviously went all terribly sour. And I'm sure it was because of your acting career, part of the jealousy or whatever of it. I'm sure that came into it.
I'm sure that I definitely would not have been, smeared on TMZ if I hadn't been on some kind of sliver of a spotlight show.
I mean, TMZ is huge,
just the worst.
It's the worst.
I call them trash media zealots. I mean, they're awful. And I'll back up, but before I do, I just want to say that when everything happened to me, and they reached out, I explained to them that I was suicidal, and that I really couldn't handle anything else. And they didn't care. They just released the video of my arrest. They put everything out on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, no, that's
Christmas
horrible. Eve. Christmas. Oh my God.
Christmas Eve.
I mean, I saw it on your website, of course. I saw it, and obviously I saw, one of the reviews of someone obviously backing you up, giving saying, what the hell is going on? It does sound crazy, But I never really take much notice of TMZ. It's just a real garbage gossip, rumor monger type thing. It's just want to make money out of that. It's terrible, really.
Yeah.
We have a newspaper called The Sun, and another one called The News of the World, which got banned in the end. They had to stop doing it for all kinds of reasons.
Wow, they got banned.
They were bugging people, like celebrities, like Hollywood actors, the royal family, and getting stories from them, from bugging them. And I think the people that did it went to jail and things like that. It was a big, huge thing.
Goodness.
Yeah. It's tabloid.
It's
a tabloid. Proper paparazzi.
Yeah, the United States seems to they allow it here. First of all, I really fully believe that it's a part of the design in the United States, which is to really grind us into sickness and poverty. Make sure that our country is feeling that our citizens feel inferior to celebrity, and make sure that we're constantly in some sort of debt, whether it's from college or the skyrocketing rent prices, or mortgage prices. And, ultimately this stress, this lifestyle leads to sickness, emotional, mental, and physical ailments. And eventually, you know, when you can retire, you're too sick to go anywhere. I mean, it's just, you know, there's a whole other conversation that could be a whole entirely different podcast. But the fact that TMZ is allowed to, I mean, it's one thing that TMZ wants to be that kind of publication, that they want to be. It used to be with what was his name? Perez Hilton, you know, and it was like kind of catty, like, oh, who's dating who?
Yeah, that's right.
But now it's turned into full on, like when they reported on Kobe Bryant's death before his own wife had even heard, you know, things like my situation, where we have this whole issue with rising suicide rates, and someone actually says, hey, I'm suicidal, don't do this to me, and they go ahead and they do it anyways. And the founder, the owner or whatever of TMZ, he's a lawyer, so he knows what he can and can't get away with in the eyes of the law. Oh, it's disgusting. Disgusting.
I mean, there's plenty of lawyers in the wrong places, and especially in the US, because it's big money, big business, you know.
Oh, don't get me started. Yeah, I'm actually in 2 lawsuits, and my lawyer is the worst. We're in, you know, it's the worst. And when you've been in a narcissistic abuse situation, nobody understands you, including your attorney. And then, it's just a nightmare. So, you know, I'm at the tail end of having my charges dismissed. My lawyer didn't seem to realize that I had a court-initiated divergence, is what it's called. So he went to court. He didn't know that had been granted to me. And because he made a mistake, I now have to wait till November to get my charges dismissed. I mean, it's just the kind of, you know, buildup of obstacles, one after the other, and all of this stemming from this narcissism. And to be honest, it just really runs wildly in the States, in the film industry, in politics, in media. I've got
a politics degree, and I came across enough of them just simply around the students I was around studying it, you know, let alone the politicians themselves, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. So look, my background.
without getting any guessing anymore. Yeah, we're all talking about stuff that now they're thinking, well, what is it? What happened? You know, I mean, obviously, unless they've read the TMZ, you know, in the UK or other parts of the world. Let's find out what did happen from the beginning before you even did your movies. You know, you obviously was a happy-go-lucky person.
I am. I've always kind of been just a happy person. I usually wake up. I've had, you know, boyfriends say, like, what do you do in the morning? Why are you cartwheeling out of bed? And I just have always kind of been a happy person. I think a lot of it had to do with when my mom was pregnant with me. She was very happy, and that you know, the way a woman feels when she's pregnant is translated to her child. So I, for the most part, you know, extenuating and external circumstances aside, I'm generally a happy person. You know, that kind of always served me. I was able to make connections really well. Pretty empathetic. I'm able to relate to people pretty easily. So lots of friends from all different sorts of backgrounds that I've met in Ubers and on planes and know, all over the place, and that I'm still friends with. And so I grew up in Paramount, California, which is was kind of a rough neighborhood. It's right next door to Compton. And and after high school, I kind of kept going further south. I went to Chapman University, studied communications and advertising, and then moved to San Diego, and I owned and operated a children's mobile dance company. And I did this for a while, but because I can never just do one thing, I decided to be a bartender on San Clemente Island. So I was flown to this island every other week to bartend, and I met a guy. We ended up getting married. He was a sailor. We got stationed in Spain. We were there for 3 years, did a lot of traveling. I had a blast there. Then we got stationed. Oh yeah. I mean, like, you're in Europe, so it's like the States, except every state speaks a different language and has different foods. You know, it's so close together. You just get one of those Euro passes.
You're talking about in Europe? Yeah, cool.
In Europe, yeah. Oh God, I just love it. My father's from Greece. We don't actually talk, but I've always just felt so much more comfortable with outside of the US.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Some people do actually, for some reason.
I think, it could be past lives. It could be, having a foreign father, but I've always just felt so much more comfortable around people who are not from America, from North America, I should say. And it's just a different mentality, a different way of life. I noticed in Spain, life wasn't about the grind and how hard you could work and compete. Life was, I got to get up, I got to work, I'm going to take a nice little siesta. After work, I'm going to come back to my family. We're going to eat. Then I'm going to go out and sit on a patio by the beach and talk. And the kids are running around and nobody's micromanaging, and it was just so free and so liberating. So I really I felt at home there. And then when we got to New Orleans, and acting kind of it didn't fall into my lap per se, but it just happened to be so available. And I was in that world with the job that I had. So I kind of jumped ship and went for it. It's something I always wanted to do since I was a little girl. I wanted to be an actress.
Yeah.
And so luckily I was able to pursue that.
And was that through doing some?
There are a lot of
Was that going through some drama training first, or you just went straight into an acting roles with a film or something?
It was kind of both. I mean, I had taken an acting class here or there growing up. I took one in college, but I never pursued drama or theater arts.
Yeah.
I decided to take an acting for film class because I had not had any TV or film experience.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got in there, my classmates, by the way, I'm fostering 4 kittens right now. So if you see me look down, I'm just watching them walk. It's so cute.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't do any formal training. I got into this acting for film class, and the classmates I had said, we'd really like to introduce you to our agent. I was hesitant because I was new to the scene. I waited about 6 months, did a showcase, and then got picked up by an agent. And then I was in. It was hard in the beginning because you go in and you're like crying after every audition. I suck. I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I even bothering?
But they say it's 10 no's, before you get a yes or something like that. Yeah, at least. Yeah, at least.
or a year of no's. And
a year of no's.
You have to get used to the fact that it's really not always about you. It's not even about your performance. You don't know who's related to or friends with someone above the line. And acting is one of the only occupations where your looks matter and your talent don't.
Oh wow, I don't know that. Okay.
Your talent doesn't.
All right. I don't know. I've seen some not so good looking people. It depends what role you're playing.
Very talented, not so good. Oh, me too. Yeah. No, and it's not across the board a rule, but I have to say there are a lot of very untalented actors who are very good looking. And you go, how the hell did they make it this far? Who do they know? Who are And there's a lot of like Hollywood bloodlines, right? It's very similar to the monarchy. They're all marrying each other, and then their parents. I mean, really, you think about
lots
it,
of nepotisms and
similar.
Things like that. Yeah, lots of nepotism.
Right, like let's look up to the stars, right, and think of how small we are compared to them. Whatever. So I was in it for a while and made it my life. I really enjoyed it, and became very proactive. I worked my butt off for those years. It was about a decade of my life. And then I was in The Big Short, which was up for an Oscar and won. So
Okay.
Yeah. It's such a good movie. And I don't say that because I was in it. Like I watch, I'm like, wow, this is a really, really good movie.
Yeah. You did watch it. I haven't actually. No, I haven't. Now that you've mentioned it, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
For such a complicated and confusing and intricate subject, Adam McKay, the director, did an amazing job of shedding light on the subject, helping us to comprehend and digest it. Because, even when I auditioned, I was like, what the hell is a credit default swap? Like, how the hell do you sell something you don't own? I was studying. I'm so not left brained.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great movie. But because of that movie, I moved to California to kind of work the Oscar, PR circuit, and things
Yeah.
were going well. But it was interesting. Most of my life, I dodged any sort of personality that resembled my father's.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
yeah, well, anyone too abrasive, anyone too, authoritarian or dominating, I stayed away from them.
Oh, okay.
But when I was just before I turned 40, I met someone, and I noticed that when I was around them, I felt like I was at home. Now, it wasn't until later when I realized this person was not safe for me, that the only reason they felt like home was because it was familiar to me. It was because it was like my childhood.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't realize that the things that are familiar to us are not necessarily safe. And we have to make the differentiation that the only reason it feels safe is because it's familiar, and it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
not. It's actually quite
But you're
toxic.
falling into the patterns that you were familiar with, and that's why you felt it
Right.
was safe at the time, I suppose, because it's like the childhood,
Exactly.
being
Right.
in that kind of safe environment that you was brought up in, so that that
Right.
kind of thing. Yeah.
You're used to it because so it feels comfortable,
So
I mean,
yeah,
if someone grew up, around, drug addicts their whole life, that's
yeah,
that's actually going to feel comfortable to them later.
yeah, because they're used to
Unless
that.
they have
Yeah,
a long, exactly. And then,
yeah, yeah,
then that gets into codependent behaviors and, oh, right, like the whole trauma abuse cycle. I mean, it just is ongoing. So yeah, so I made that mistake of bringing this person out to LA with me. It really set
but
my.
you was already
Mhm.
married to him.
No, that
Oh,
person.
sorry.
Oh, let me enter. Yeah. So when I got to New Orleans, yeah, I didn't have a boyfriend and while I was married, but I
Oh, yeah,
did
sorry.
get divorced.
Oh,
Thanks,
okay,
babe.
yeah. Sorry about that.
I did
Okay.
get divorced. We went our separate ways.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and so it goes. And I'm still not married, and I don't know if I ever want to do that again.
Okay.
Contracts on love, I'm not sure if they're necessary.
Yeah, it's just one of. Well, I think
Yeah.
so. I think it's Pink. I think she got married. The singer Pink.
Oh, did
And
she?
then
Yeah.
she said, I think she did. And then she said, well, everyone's got the right to a divorce. So I thought, why
Yeah.
not?
It's true. I
It's true.
kind of wish I kind of wish marriage had like a re-up, like after 7 years, you kind of reevaluate and you go, you want to stay in? I don't
Mm,
know. You want to stay in? I mean, if we do, it's another 7 years. I kind of want
yeah.
to go do this though. You know what? Love you, wish you well, see ya. Like, what
Well,
if it were that simple?
in the UK, it's like Canada now. We adjusted the divorce law where it's a no fault thing,
Oh,
where
okay.
it's kind of like, well, if you want to break up, there's no fault. It's kind of like,
Let's just go our
and
separate
especially
ways.
it's mainly because if you've got kids or whatever, especially, it's like just
Right.
just
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not working. Let's just get the divorce without any kind of damage done to each other,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, so it's called a no
No,
fault
I mean,
divorce.
and right. And in the States, it's, once you get that attorney, the attorney's going to convince you need this and you should have
Yeah,
this. And
I know
yeah, it
it's
just
big
gets
business out
really
there. Yeah,
nasty, right?
yeah,
Like the dukes come off during death and divorce. You're like, who the hell is this person I was living with for 20 years? They're
yeah.
monsters. Crazy.
So anyway, getting back to the
So
story,
yeah,
yeah. So
so I,
you brought it to
yeah,
the
so
ULA.
right. And I ended up kind of getting out of that situation, but then it made me really look at what I was doing with my life and whether or not the film industry was something that I wanted to be a part of. And I didn't leave it, but I did kind of, I left my apartment in LA. I started working with foreign exchange students, helping them when they were doing their study abroad. I
All
traveled
right.
with them a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a really great time. I really, really enjoy being around foreign people.
Yeah,
I'll probably end up living in another country ultimately
yeah.
in the end. But so then, I got back on my feet and I started working a lot of production. I was doing PA work, production assistant, and worked my way up to be a second assistant director. And just around that time, I met somebody. I met somebody who was almost too good to be true. I mean, seriously, I couldn't believe that I deserved someone so good. And it turned out that he was studying to become a therapist. And I loved the field of psychology. And I never went into counseling because I think I'm a little too much of an empath. I cry for, animals that I see hurt. I don't think I could sit there all day and serve anybody well while they're telling me their traumas. I'm finding other ways to do that. I couldn't do that. But I've always studied psychology. I've loved the cause and effect, right? Like what happened to us and where that takes us and how does it affect our decisions in life, from careers and partners and friendship.
Yeah.
So we really hit it off. It was a very quick fall in love, move in together. I saw little kind of, I wouldn't call them red flags, because the interesting thing about narcissistic abuse is the red flags are different than most other abuses. They're so, especially with a covert narcissist, they're very, they make you doubt your own reasoning. You're not, they're not screaming red flags. They're more like observations that you feel like, I don't know if this is actually something that's normal, but I can't say that it's abnormal, because it's definitely not something I've seen before. But hey, maybe I'm the abnormal one. You start kind of mind screwing yourself because this person's so good to be too good to be true. So maybe I'm the messed up one here, cats. So we fell in love pretty hard, or at least I did, and thought he did. But he had this very controlling, a couple very controlling family members. Now, knowing what I've learned is that I was involved in what's called a narcissistic family cult, where there's someone who basically runs it, which in this case was the mother, and she controlled all of his finances. It got to the point where she ultimately controlled my finances as well. I pretty much went downhill in that relationship. All my money went down the drain, my jobs, everything started. It was almost like I had this curse all of a sudden. All my good, everything that I'd built up again was going away. And the mother was very involved in his life. This is a grown man, but she was constantly texting me about his money. And I finally was like, look, I love you guys, but I really think you need to have a conversation, because it's not really fair to me to be put in the middle of this. And you don't say that to a narcissist, apparently, because they will destroy your life for standing up for yourself. And that's what they did. This went on for a few months. They kind of did things behind the scenes. And then when I would ask if those things were going on, I was told they were not. And come to find out that they were. But this went on for about 4 months. And in that period, one day, my partner completely flipped personalities. I mean, like literally, I don't know who the hell was standing in front of me at one point. I didn't even recognize his features. I don't know if you've ever heard of shape shifting, but I'm pretty sure I witnessed it one night.
I've never heard of it, but.
Well, look it up when we're done. It is scary.
All right.
We've got 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So
okay.
We'll get the listeners to obviously find your website after this anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So that all being said, then it came into the end of it, which was known as the discard. And essentially, the whole family rallied and tried to throw me out of my home. And they eventually did, which I was on the lease for. And then they moved him back in. They had me arrested, they accused me of things I didn't do. It's, and I'm still, it's almost 3 years later. I'm still dealing with it.
What did they have you arrested for?
The sister, who was extremely envious. And I think there was like some kind of weird emotional incest going on, to be honest with you. I don't know, emotional incest. I just want to say that again. She was hiding outside of my apartment. I didn't know it. And I was trying to get away. And when I ran down my stairs, I saw her. And so I I flipped her off. I called her the C word, and I took her phone very carefully without touching her, and I tossed it aside. Well, she told the cops that I assaulted her, that I physically assaulted her.
Yeah.
They arrested me on the spot. That night I almost committed suicide. I was on kind of like my own safety watch. I was in contact with my therapist and a childhood friend. And I ended up leaving the state. Just I hadn't eaten. I lost 20 pounds in a month. It was just awful. And a lot of those symptoms I still have: PTSD, autoimmune disorder, a lot of
Oh, really?
anxiety. Oh yeah. I mean, if you
That's quite
look at the list
serious.
on my, oh yeah, if you look at the list on my website of physical and emotional symptoms, I have almost every single one of them. And so does every single victim that I've spoken to, which brings me to the campaign.
Yes.
The Escaped Goat is, we have a mission to reform psychological abuse laws and educate law enforcement, because they have no idea what kind of personality they're dealing with when it comes to a narcissist. And in almost every single story that I've heard by speaking with narcissists or being on forums, most of them were falsely accused. They had the cops called on them.
Yeah.
They were falsely arrested. One man, his wife punched herself in the face to make her nose bleed, so it looked like he did it. Excuse me. These people will go to great lengths to destroy you, and their biggest fear is being exposed. So they need to do away with you, and that means killing your spirit. So the website is www.theescapedgoat.com, and on there, first of all, there are amazing resources on that page. My friend and co-star from The Big Short, Rudy, who played Louis, I think it's Louis Ranieri. He's right at the beginning of the movie. He actually worked on my website and has done most of the designing. He's been a godsend. So on there are resources like websites, coaches, everything you need, but also there's a take action page. And what I've noticed in a lot of the victim communities is, we're sharing our stories, we're venting, we're commiserating, but we're not necessarily taking action to change anything, not just for our own vindication and validation's sake, but for the future people who are going to ultimately end up in similar situations. So there is a take action page on our site where, one, you can volunteer to help with the campaign, whether you're a marketer or, a lawyer, a lobbyist, a therapist, or if you'd like to tell your own story, there is a drop-down menu to be able to do that, and you can do that anonymously.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's very good. And just like sexual assault and, even physical abuse of, when we were kids, they were allowed to hit us hard.
Yeah, that's
belts,
right.
Sticks, and whatever they could reach, right?
But the law's been brought in now, and supposedly, most parents aren't doing it now.
Right. So we need to do the same thing. We need to bring to light the stories. I know people are afraid. They're afraid of the narcissist, but we need to show law enforcement and the courts how dangerous this is. And we can only do that by stepping forward and speaking up. So that is the point of this campaign. It's obviously an uphill battle in a world often populated by narcissists, in systems often populated by narcissists, like Hollywood and politics and legislate. I mean, it's just,
I know.
So
as I say, I've been through some bullying. I'm sure I came across a lot of narcissists because, sort of things that people bullied me for. So so
and I'm sorry, you said that earlier, and I'm sorry that you experienced that.
I've kind of learned to deal with it my way, because they try to say, oh, well, you haven't this and you're that, and they try and work out excuses to turn it around. That's what narcissist does as well, to turn it around.
They like
you're the
flip
problem.
that script.
Right,
exactly.
That's what they do, and then the bullies do the same thing. But anyway, obviously, I'm not here to tell my story. My story, a little bit of my story is on the website. Some of it's on,
I'll check it out.
Well, I try and do it through speaking and stuff like that. Coaching, and things like that, really. But obviously, yours happened during the pandemic as well, didn't it? You got arrested.
Well, the event the event happened the December before we went into quarantine. So my court case got pushed 4 times. I just went to court in May of 2022.
Oh, right.
So those charges have been lingering. You know, all the videos are out there of me, you know, then people were writing, you know, baloney headlines like, oh, she smashed and beat a woman. Like, I literally didn't touch anybody, you know, like I was so careful. Even when you have a little cutie running back there too.
Yeah, that's my daughter. Yeah, sorry about that. But we've actually got 4 kittens. I thought it was one of the kittens as well. So
you have 4 kittens? Kittens or kids?
No,
oh
no, I've got one.
Cute.
No, 4 kittens. 4 kittens, like yourself.
4 kitties, like meow.
No. Yes.
Oh yeah, okay, not 4 kids.
No, only one, only her. Only her.
1 kitty, 4 kitties.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
So she wants me to go and play with her after this podcast. So
we're
gonna shift soon. We're gonna shift soon anyway.
What do you guys play? What's her favorite game?
Well, she wants to play hide and seek now, but you know, she plays tennis. She started to play like it's with a tennis ball, swing ball. But
good for her.
Yeah. She's 7 years old now. She started to do gymnastics, you know, ballet, as she calls it, things like that. But anyway, let's get back to you. How can we get our viewers to get involved in the campaign before we go?
Yes.
And really get this going, and I'll even might even look at, you know, adding my side of what I do onto it as well.
I would love that. I'll tell you what I'm struggling with right now is it's you know, this type of abuse leaves you feeling very isolated, and thank God that the people who don't get it, because the only way you get it is if you've been through it. So once I realized, you know, well, I'm glad my friends didn't go through this. Now carrying all that I carry, the tension, I can't even explain to you how much pain my body is in most days because of everything that happened. So it's so important that people, you know, I'm feeling like, am I doing this all by myself? I have a great publicist. She's been helping me. And there's a couple of other victims I met that seem like they might get involved. But the thing is, guys, is nothing's going to change. And I know we want to all put it behind us, but imagine if every rape victim or every physical abuse victim had just put it behind them and hadn't spoken up. There would be no laws to protect us from having that happen to us. So I really encourage everybody. There's goat gear, which is just some merchandise, which there's, you know, some fun stuff on there. And then there's our logo, but all of that goes into me being able to maintain. I don't take anything. I'm not making any money. I'm putting everything back into the campaign. You know, I've paid to have this website done. I've paid to, you know, have things set up, but I need assistance. And I think that the best assistance is mutual assistance. We can all do this together. So I would love if you shared your story. And if you need any direction on the website, let me know.
Excellent. Well, we've almost got 30 seconds left. So any last words you can give out there, or otherwise we'll just point it to your website and
just keep fighting that good fight. Hang in there. Someone's got your back. You may not see them, but they've got your back. So don't go anywhere. Just hold on tight and know that you're in the light, and it's got you.
Excellent, Vanessa. Vanessa, you've been really great on this show. I told you, everyone that you're really great and fantastic. I really feel with what we're talking about and the topic. So it really is great that you come on the show and spoke about it. Thanks for coming on the show and sharing this today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me and for being open with your story.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.